As you can see, there's a Garbage album there, the debut album there, and there's the CD there. So why have I got a new one? Well, we'll take a look at that right now. Hi, this is Stephen E. Andrews, Outlaw bookseller, and welcome to the channel. If you're new, please subscribe. We do books, music, culture, psychogeography, all sorts of stuff. It's interdisciplinary, so please come on board and you'll see all sorts of interesting stuff. And this is my latest unboxing video. I do unboxings primarily of coloured vinyl albums, and I've done quite a few recently. You know how it is. You don't buy any records for a while, then all of a sudden a load of reissues or new titles come out all at once and you find yourself doing a few in a row. So I do shoot these a few weeks ahead of posting them. So there's some other unboxings to look at. There'll be more which I'm going to shoot today coming up as well. All sorts of things. And today we're going to look at Garbage, the debut album from back in the 90s. Just to give you an idea, some of the other sort of things I've unboxed recently, I've either filmed and uploaded or will be soon, include Paul Draper. That one's already online. There's 2 videos about Cult Leader Tactics, a great album. There's a Lush one which will be up by the time that you see this. I'm even doing a Fields of the Nephilim one, so that'll be a laugh. I was in 2 minds about whether I would buy this or not. This is a pink vinyl reissue, and I don't know if it's an exclusive. I don't think it is. No, it's BMG, and it's on the HMV website. And I thought about it because I have I bought the CD when it first came out. That's the original CD, which I've never replaced. And of course, Garbage made quite a splash, good few hit singles, great debut album. And this was sort of a bit of a refreshing alternative mid-90s to sort of Britpop. And it was also not for people who, you know, maybe didn't like the full-blown grunge stuff. It was sort of like a grunge pop thing there. And, you know, are Garbage a rock band or a pop group? That's the question. So what is a rock band? A rock band, to me, is a group which sing songs which aren't always universal. Sometimes they're very particular, or they step outside the sort of norms. It doesn't mean that a rock band can't do pop songs, and that's where I think people get sort of confused. You know, a pop group is usually universal. So there were several hits on here, as we remember. Only Happy When It Rains, which is like sort of a goth pastiche. You know, I quite like that. Great sense of humour to that. I think the first track I heard on this was My Lover's Box, which was on a free CD with Q and magazine, something like that. And of course there's Milk, which is very lush as well, absolutely beautiful, and several singles came off this. But so I've had that since it came out. I used to enjoy it quite a lot. And here I have an original. This is an unplayed original, and I'll just take it out of the PVC sleeve to show you some detail. Because one of the interesting things about this, I think I probably acquired this about 15, 20 years ago, and so I've never played it, because I tend not to play my vinyl very much, largely because there's a pile of CDs on top of my turntable. It's a single sleeve, and there's 2 LPs inside, and there you go. So it's single sleeve, and of course this was issued also as a box set of 7-inch singles. I used to have that and sold that a long time ago, and I bought that at the time. So this is kind of pristine and unplayed in the single sleeve, and that will probably go on eBay, because I was thinking, do I really want to get, you know, a pink vinyl when I've got the original? And with my sort of vinyl collecting, I'm not essentially a sort of first pressings person. I just want a really good quality, nice, unplayed, pristine record, because when I do play it, I look after it and what have you. I'm that sort of person. I tend to look after my stuff. So I did think about this, and then I was out shopping in Bristol yesterday. I saw it in HMV. It was the last one, and I thought, let's go for it. So I'm just going to get the scissor, and we'll do a little snip here and see what it's like. Now I know it's a light sort of pink, reflecting the sleeve design. I'm just going to tear that off there. It's got one of HMV's typical stickers that says coloured vinyl, and we'll give it a little tear. I had an interesting comment the other day about one of these unboxings, and somebody said, why don't you just cut the shrink down the side? And well, yeah, okay, well I could, but I actually don't really like shrink on records. I think I've only got 1 LP I've kept the shrink on, and that's a still sealed duplicate of Black and White by the Stranglers. 1978 grey splatter vinyl version. And, you know, because you'll see in my curating standards, I always use a PVC sleeve. I thought, you know, what's the point really, you know? So why do I do it? Why don't I do it? Anyway, just take this out and we'll have a little look at it. Quite interesting, look at the difference there in the colours. This is a lot softer, and if you can see that there, there's quite a significant difference in the coloration, and you find that a lot with reissues, don't you? You find that often the sleeves are not as well printed as the originals, and of course there's Shirley and the chaps on the back. And I say this is a gatefold, not single sleeve. So there's the picture which we know from the back of the CD inside the gatefold. That's quite nice. And we'll just have a look at the vinyl. And of course inside we see colour inner, and my basic curating standard for actual records is to always have them in a poly-lined inner. I never leave them in an inner sleeve like this. So I'm just going to pop that out, give us an opportunity to look at the vinyl itself. There you go, very, very nice. And it's quite peachy. It's got the pink feathers there. That's rather nice. Very, very pretty, and I do like that pink. I mean, a lot of pink vinyl these days is magenta, rather like the colour on this Filer top. And you've probably got a great hissing noise there because I think it just bit my microphone a bit. So we'll just slip that into a black poly-lined inner from Covers 33, who I always mention, who I'm not advertising, I just like this stuff. And we pop just that there and just say very nice red inner. And we'll have a look at the other LP, and of course it's the same colour, and on this we have the blue in a sleeve, which is very fetching, two lovely shades of blue there. I wore these colours specifically at the time of the record, of course, just to give the visual appeal. And yeah, here we go, and pink again, very, very nice. Lovely, nice sort of peachy calamine sort of light pink as opposed to a magenta, which is what you commonly see. And we'll pop that, there's Shirley there on the label with her glorious hair. Of course she's Scots, you're in a band called Angelfish, you know, she had a few records out before this. Of course Garbage, absolutely huge, massive, and it's a great sounding record, you know. Great tunes. And okay, so we've done that. So the next part of the curating standard is to get the outer into a heavy duty PVC outer. So I'm just going to do that bit off camera. And just to talk about Garbage, they obviously Butch Vig was the producer, was well known for, you know, the big Nirvana album that everybody knows, and I've never been particularly a fan of personally. And the other guys, you know, had been in the music business for a while, and they're older guys and they're real pros, and they like good stuff, like Roxy Music, which is like, you know, anybody who likes early Roxy Music is okay in my book. And Garbage were huge, weren't they, you know, and I guess, you know, they still pop up now and again. I didn't stick with them beyond the second album. I do tend to like more complex rock music, things with a bit more sort of keyboards and tone colour and sort of longer song arrangements. But I thought they were a great sort of little rock pop band. And, you know, things like The Aching Beauty of Milk, I thought was absolutely lovely. And as I say, I really like My Lover's Box. And things like Vow have got a certain amount of sort of aggression and angst in them, which is nice. Only Happy When It Rains. So, you know, it's kind of a classic album these days, isn't it, really? You know, it's a classic record. And Heaven Is Wide, you know, it's a really great tracks. Dog New Tricks, very catchy, you know, and Queer was a single as well, wasn't it? And I think Super Vixen was. There's quite a few singles were lifted off. There's probably too many, really. I think if you once you get beyond 3, it's pushing it a bit, isn't it, really? So that's there into the PVC sleeve, and then we're going to pop the inners into it. And what am I going to do in my original? I mean, obviously it's different, it looks different, but I will probably sell it on eBay because it's unplayed, as I say, and you know, an unplayed original is an uncommon thing these days. And you know, you've got to think about space and the money and what have you, so that will probably go on eBay. So a nice little blast from the past, 90s sort of mode. The 90s was a funny time for me, I think, in music. Just looking at this again, I sort of rallied a bit. I'd sort of really lost interest in a lot of contemporary music in the 80s, and I feel between 1983 and 1987 there seemed to be very little going on, and there was some good goth music around, and bands like the Sisters of Mercy, and the Smiths were around. I'm more of a Morrissey fan than the Smiths fan, even though I've got all their albums. And then 87, of course, we had the second Summer of Love, where dance music stopped being a disco thing for the uncool people, and it started aping the subcultures of rock. And I wasn't too keen on that. There was a few sort of crossover things. I like things like the Shaman and System 7. Generally, people who've been rock musicians, they tended to make the best dance music, with interesting dance music. But it was a bad time for rock music, and, you know, things had really sort of got dull. And I felt that the sort of early experimentalism of post-punk, which had followed punk rock, had been really, really good and really interesting. But then things seemed to die away. Then in the early 90s, we had Britpop. And because Britpop is a difficult beast, because you think of Blur and Oasis, but they were sort of like glam bands like Suede. There were Pulp, who were more like a cross between Magazine and Blondie, with sort of British lyrical content. Then the mid-90s, you've got a few interesting bands. The Manics obviously had been around for a while then, like Garbage. And come 97, I think Manson appeared. So it was a strange decade, because I think by then we were sort of deep into the postmodern phase of things, and there was less original stuff going on. But yes, it's a great fun record. So I'm glad I've bought that. It's very, very attractive, as you can see. So we'll have to give the CD a spin later on, because as I say, the turntable's covered in vinyl. And I'm just going to show you another quick comparison of these two, which is quite interesting, isn't it? Seeing the two together and looking at that single sleeve and double sleeve. So that's Garbage by Garbage from 1995. As I say, do subscribe, come back with some more unboxing soon, and at some stage I'm just going to go through my records and do some reveals and top 10 some different sort of decades or years or what have you, because you know, there's lots in the music collection to discuss. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.